What's going on there, guys? My name is Poe and welcome to my channel, Pilots. If you guys are involved in any way at Titanfall 2, curious about it, lots of videos coming in the future, so subscribe, stay a little while, leave a thumbs up, support it. So today, I want to talk about what is the best gun in loadout in Titanfall 2. From what I've been able to gather in the, 12 plus hours I played during the weekend of tech test number 1. Shut up, phone! Doing my thing right now, buddy. So, what I've discovered is that a lot of the weapons are very, very strong, and basically when you amp anything up, it's capable of just destroying everything. So when people go and use the argument, well, you know what, when I amp this gun up, it kills in 2 or 3 bullets. Well, basically, so does every other gun, or maybe it kills in 1 extra bullet necessary, but it's got a higher rate of fire, so the time to kill is still right around the same. So, if we've learned anything, amping things up just kills things. True story, Vin Diesel used to have hair until he amped up his hairbrush. Do you get what I'm saying here? Basically, when you amp anything, it just deads everything. So, that aside, what have I been able to kind of experiment with? So, I unlocked the Alternator. Incredible weapon, but it is not the most reliable at medium range. The car is a little bit more reliable at medium range, but of course it takes quite a few bullets to register those, so it takes a little bit of time beyond that. Then you have things like the LSTAR, which is great. It's got its own flaws, but it's got its own strength. It's a very interesting weapon. A lot of people didn't even give it a chance, and you should in tech test number 2 if you didn't, because it could be your favorite weapon. And then, of course, the big one, what I consider to be the best gun in Titanfall 2. This is the R201. It's the one that every one of us has unlocked at the start. This is your basic standard assault rifle, and that is why it is king. As I said before, almost any gun right now is capable of killing at around the same time to kill. They are very strong in close quarters. The one advantage that the R201 has over the rest of the competition is that it's still reliable with range. That is something that you can't say out of the Alternator, you can't say out of the car. You can land and register shots, but it's not consistent enough. It's not as manageable as the R201. So at the end of the day, that one takes the cake. That is your victor. Crown that motherfucker now, because he is definitely the best thing to use, and will probably be along the same lines in the future, because SMGs do have their limitations with range, so they're supposed to outperform things like ARs in close quarters, but at the end of the day, ARs are still high rate of fire, they're still very strong at automatic weapons, so they're still going to be able to compete against SMGs, and that's what this game has to offer. Also, no room at all to discredit what the Mastiff shotgun was capable of bringing. With the mobility, the ability to use stim and cloak, that thing can get into close quarters and do ridiculous things, so it's great on maps like Boomtown, arguably the best option you can have. But on something like Homestead, no, you've committed a sin. So ultimately, the R201 is your best option going into tech test number 2, and I'm curious to see if these are still true in the full release of the game. That aside, what about the equipment and abilities? Now that it's so easy to track where the spawn activity is, you guys know where everybody's coming from, you just throw this in the general direction. It's a very large radius. I call it the scrub sonar. It lights up everybody. I walk in there so confident. I'm like the Insight man, just smiling my way through their spawn, taking them out one after another with ease. It's basically wall hacks, and it makes it far more valuable than anything else. Now, Stim and something like Cloak, they have their own arguments, but I feel like those are generally better for people that are looking for solo confrontation. So if I'm using Cloak, it's going to help me in 1v1s, it's going to help me when we're dealing with Titans. So in the end, a lot of this is preference, whatever you feel complements your playstyle, but also keep in mind that every other ability besides the blade is useful only for yourself. The blade benefits everybody. You can light up the entire enemy team like a Christmas tree for everybody on your team to use that particular ability, whereas something like Stim only works on yourself. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Pushing that aside, what about the grenades? I spent a lot of time playing around with these, trying to find out what the best option was. I always found myself coming back to either the arc grenade or your traditional frag grenade. Frag grenades can still kill people. The rest of them require a little bit of crowd control so that you can secure your kill with a melee or a weapon kill. At least when I throw a grenade, I can walk away and let it get done with it, so I generally prefer the frag grenade. Of course, it's a little less valuable when you're dealing with a lot of Titans involved. That's where arc grenades come to be a little bit more beneficial, and at the end of the day, the other ones are cool, they're interesting in their own way, but they weren't as viable as a lot of people painted them to be. So, ladies and gentlemen, the winning formula is the R201 Carbine, combined with a fragmentation or an arc grenade with the Pulse Blade ability. That is your key to success. That is what you need to work with. And fortunately, you don't have to spend any of your currency to upgrade. They all come from the very base experience. So that's really awesome. So stay tuned. More information, including a first impression review of the original tech test, coming in the next couple days. So subscribe if you're new here. You guys take care. Let me know what you thought was the best gun down in the comment section below.